Good morning. Often we talk about the inner and outer body. In yoga, we often focus on the physical, or we think we are. I found a little reading from Iyengar about the point of physical asana or yoga practice, and I want you to think about that when you do your work today. We basically use our physical body as a vehicle to go deeper inside our mental or psychological body. Many yoga practitioners are flexible and practice asanas in a habitual manner without involvement or reflection. Mr. Iyengar teaches that his students to understand that the asanas are not just about the movement of our physical body. There has to be a microscopic awareness of our inner penetration, our inner self. He awakens this intelligence that's within. It allows practitioners to sharpen their awareness, resulting in interaction. So again, I use my outer body to become aware of what's in here, especially when this world gets so busy. For example, during mountain pose, he goes beyond stand with your legs and feet joined together. He asks you to question the need to align the inner and outer foot. Sometimes that can be irritating as a student. Why are you focusing on these tiny micro movements? But guess what? Those micro movements sharpen this micro awareness inside your body, and ultimately carry that awareness to the outside of the world. This in turn elates the thoracic region. You don't want to hear that, boring. Mr. Iyengar's teachers might appear to be physical in nature, but the casual spectator cannot observe the internal workings of the practitioner's mind. He believes awareness brings perfect balance between our work output and our energy expenditure. Correct utilization of the mind and body assures that the energy is retained and correctly distributed. So some of it has physical value. We worry about safety of the body. We worry about kind of a continuity. Are all the poses similar, even though you put your own spin on it? But ultimately, that physical awareness creates the internal awareness or your mental awareness. And for many of us, we need that more than ever right now. I thought we could do a quiet breathing exercise on the floor. This might be challenging or annoying for those of you who prefer physical movement, a more challenging physical movement. And so this is a script for us to focus on calmness. It's something that a lot of us struggle with our busy work, with what's going on in the world, or maybe that's just your nature. I know I do. So get comfortable on the floor. I'm going to read you this one, and then we'll do a little bit of floor work. And actually, I'll quickly pick the animal before we start so I don't have to interrupt you. What shape we're going to do today. Elephant. I think of elephant as strong and solid, and yet they are gentle giants. So you will overcome any obstacles. And without a long sidebar, move forward towards the fulfillment of your heart's desire. Let nothing stop you now. If your goal and intentions are spirit-driven, then it's only your ego's fear and discouragement that will stop you from achieving it. Dispel any resistance along the way until you reach your destination. You have an important mission. There's no point in dilly-dallying around, finding all sorts of distractions to avoid your destiny. Oh my, I know this applies to a few of you trying to choose a new life path or do something uncomfortable you've been avoiding. Don't yield to temptation that entice you from your path. It's time to live your life according to the drive and desire of your inner spirit. And don't let yourself be stopped by someone else's disapproval. It's really not their disapproval. So motivation, side ones are maternal and family. But motivation, perseverance, moving forward. Ooh, do you know what that reminds me of? When we're in our plank and you feel like it would be so easy to give up. I'm not there watching you. And yet in your mind, you set this goal for yourself to stick out and endure this discomfort, possibly in the physical body. The reward is this mental resilience that you just did. Okay, I'll think about what to do with that. So you're gonna lie on your back, get comfortable. You might put your folded blanket under your lower back, under your knees, or under your head, wherever there's discomfort in the body. You're gonna place one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest. Your legs are relaxed. Depending on your back, they're either outstretched and gently flopping outwards, not very wide, or they're bent at the knee, depending on your lower back. Start to feel your chest rise and fall. Sometimes we notice that more in our belly or our diaphragm. And then feel your belly also rise and fall. You're gonna inhale and exhale. And we talk about that rhythm that we're creating up and down with the breath. Continue with your natural breath, in and out through your nostrils, and then exit through your nostrils. Remember the deep inhale, hold, and we're trying to find a longer exhale. If counting to 4 as you breathe in helps, and counting to 4 or 6 as you breathe out, that's great. Pause. Now take another big inhale. Feel the belly rise, the ribs expand, and finally your chest lifts, coming to the top of the breath, just below the throat. On the exhale, the breath leaves the chest. Ribs fall, belly contracts. Continue with this breath, feeling all 3 parts of the breath, and think to yourself, belly, ribs, chest, ribs, belly, finding this pattern again. Repeat this breath 3 more times. With the third exhale, begin to feel the breath as a wave of coming up from your belly and rising to the top of your breath through your throat. So pausing at the top, and as you exhale, with the third exhale, feel the wave coming up from the belly and rising to the top of the throat. You're continuing this wave pattern, inhale, exhale, but holding at each exhale and holding at each inhale. Hold this breath for 2 counts. Then let the breath go in a wave from the chest out to the belly. Continue this wave in and out. Sometimes the visual helps. In and out. Focusing on your breath. Focusing on your ease and steadiness. Take 2 more breath rounds. And then we will slowly blink your eyes. And I'm going to come and join you on the floor. The first thing I notice is the heaviness of my body, the flesh outer body. And is my mind equally heavy, or is there a lightness, or is there unawareness this morning? I haven't had coffee, so my awareness is completely different than if I had lots of things plaguing my mind. Pressing the tailbone down, what do you notice about the hardness of the floor? Matching the boniness of your body. Beneath the flesh, we all have these bones buried. And then gently rock a little side to side, tiny windshield wiper. Maybe it starts to increase in width. And maybe you know the tightness in your body, or maybe you're a very flexible person, so this is almost too loose. The next time your legs are to the left, let the knees fall wide into windshield wiper and back upright. And the next time they're to the right, let them fall wide in windshield wiper and back upright. And one more time, knees to the left. How wide does that feel they can go? I'm noticing some challenges in my right hip. And back upright. And then knees to the right. Nice long stretch. Feel that down the left side of the body. And back upright. And one more time. Knees to the left. This time take the arm stretch behind you and maybe grab one hand together like this. Leave your arms behind you. And knees come to the right. Excuse me. Back to center. Let's take the soles of our feet together. Feeling the flesh, soul to soul. And then closing our legs. Thighs to chest, little boat. While you're trying to get those thighs closer to the belly, what this does is help lengthen the spine just for a moment. The tailbone gets nice and long. Nice stretch in the lower back. Let's start to make circles. I'm going to start with clockwise. Push the knees away, bring them in close. Push them away and bring them in close. Making sure to switch directions. We don't want to create this groove in our brain of action. When we talk about samskaras, they're not always saying negative habits. They can just be repeated pattern. And I'm going to do my egg beaters. Opposite direction. 1, 2. 1, 2. Maybe help them fall wide for a moment. And just support the weight of your knees. Walk your hands down your shins, pull the thighs in. How do those hips feel today? I think we're going to do some elephant breath work, but we're really going to focus on the hips. When they get neglected, I feel they infect the whole body and the rest of your practice. I'm going to bring the legs together, walk my hands down the shins, and how close can I pull those thighs into my belly? It kind of depends on how tight the lower back is or isn't. You can lift your head up, chin to chest, look at your toes, and then lower back down, chin to the sky. This is good for our spine. Chin to chest, lift your chest towards your thighs, look at your toes, keep those arches pressed together, and then roll down. Head down, chin to the sky. Let's do that 2 more times, waking up the spine. Chin to chest, roll into a tight ball, keep the thighs together. Head down, chin to chest, chin to the sky. Pull the thighs in. One more time. Chin to chest, roll, pull everything tight, and then head down, chin to the sky. Let's take our knees to the floor on the left, double leg spinal twist. You can slowly open up that arm to a T, right shoulder comes towards the mat. Your choice, that arm can be extended or low by your side. Now let's pull those knees in close. Side spinal twist, but you're pulling them in more in a fetal position. Then press them to right angle, feet are flexed. Feet are stacked. And then option to try to straighten those legs hand to toe, revolved hand to toe. Back to center, little bow. One circle, then the other. Now for me to take those knees to the other side, I swing my hips to the left, take my knees over, left shoulder lands, this side is much tighter for me. So I can keep them relaxed. I can pull them inside fetal position, stretching out the lower back. I can press them down to a right angle, flexed. Or I can, if you have space, straighten them, revolved hand to toe. So my legs are stacked and are attempting to grab those toes, looking out over the left hand. Bend your knees, back to center. Little boat. Now we're going to do single leg wind relieving pose. Hands interlaced, drawing right shin in or behind the left right thigh. Left foot drops, and just pressing your lower back into the floor. Sliding left leg straight. Pulling that right thigh in, that must feel good. Let's point those feet and flex a few times. Then left hand takes right knee over. Single leg spinal twist. And again, I can pull it in close. There's a deep glute stretch, the same benefit as a squat. I can press it down to a right angle, flexed and hovering. Or arms to a T, straighten that leg, flexed and hovering. It's at a right angle. Back to center. Little boat or circles. Left leg in tight. You can choose to come into the shin or behind the thigh. Slide the right leg straight. Relaxed, flexed, or pointed. Listen to your hip. What does it need today? Finally, right hand takes left knee over. Single leg spinal twist. You want to keep that left shoulder down. And here's your choice, depending on your hip mobility and what's happening in your back. You might pull that knee in so it's like a fetal position. You might press it down, flexed at a right angle. Or you might straighten that leg at a right angle, flexed, and we have no room here, so. Back to center. Little boat or circles. Our hands are on our knees. Let's take them wide one more time. 3 breaths here, supporting the knees and letting gravity stretch our inner thighs. Reminiscent of frogs. So I'm going to dangle my feet, but you could flex them. Option to come and set up for happy baby. So I'm taking the hands behind the thighs, gently pulling thighs to my side body. Option to come into full happy baby, depending on your body today and your tightness or lack of tightness. Stillness or rocking side to side. Then we'll take the soles of our feet together. Option to bind around the blades if you're reaching or holding your ankles. And once more, I use the hardest of my floor to press my back into. Today I want us to dedicate all of our love and effort and energy to Lebanon. I won't say a lot about it. It was very upsetting what happened yesterday in the world, but important we do that. Feet to the floor, soles together, knees out to the side. And if you believe that we are all interconnected, energetically, nature-wise, humans, global village, every level, that energy won't go unnoticed. The rest of the world is thinking about this corner of the world that we often don't think about when we're busy with our own issues. I'm in recline cobbler. I may choose to leave my arms low, depending on your shoulders. Or maybe they come to a T, or maybe they come into cactus, bend at the elbow. Move your body into the best position for relaxing. Close our legs, thighs to chest, little boat or circles. We're going to do a couple more things on the floor for hips. Taking your legs in the air, give your legs a massage on the hamstring. Point and flex, fan your toes, roll at your ankles. Legs fall wide and start to massage those inner thighs. Maybe you're going to pause here. Close our legs. I'm looking over and I see my straps. I'm going to bring that close by. Right leg in the air. Left leg lowers slowly. Your choice, straight and flexed or bent. And then I'm going to massage this leg. And then start to roll out that ankle. Remember our interconnectivity in our own body. My ankle mobility affects my hip mobility, which ultimately helps my back. Maybe fan out each toe. Maybe squeeze and release the muscles up and down that leg, giving them a little gift. And then taking your strap to the ball of your right foot. This is where the magic happens, stretching out our hamstring for a moment. Let's take 3 breaths, just holding that ankle stacked over the hip. What do you notice about your body when all you're doing is putting it in proper alignment for a moment? Our habits can't hide inside our body. We often talk about how our body is a diary of all the things, a physical manifestation of all that we did yesterday. And choosing stillness or slowly stirring this leg. take both straps in the right hand pull left hip down. Release that leg out to the side. And each time you breathe out, can you let go of a little bit more tension your body might be carrying? Taking that foot back up to the sky, transferring straps to the left hand. Flex the foot. We're going to first take that foot 2 or 3 inches to the left. This is where I know some of you might want to massage the outer thigh. And then maybe take it a little further. And maybe take it all the way over, shoulders grounded. I might take my right arm out to a T. I can feel this all the way into my glute and lower back. And then back upright, get rid of the strap, thighs to chest, little boat. Feet in the air once more. Point and flex, fan the toes. Roll out your ankle. Slowly release right leg out of the way. We don't need that right now. Let's massage the left leg on its own. Point and flex. Roll out the ankle. I'm going to take my strap to the ball of my left foot, bringing this leg into alignment. What do I notice about that leg today? Two more breaths here. Take both straps in the left hand and release the weight of that leg out to the left. One more breath. And taking that leg to the sky, switching the straps to the right hand, flex. Let's take 1 or 2 inches to the right. Maybe a little further. Go with what your IT band or outer leg is telling you it needs. Follow that as your lead. Back to the sky, taking the strap into your left hand and let it go. Knees to chest, little bow. We're going to do one last thing. Let's do our thread the needle. I love it, and I love hearing your response to this pose. It does seem to be a fixture for so many issues, and it shows up in a lot of physiotherapy posts. Knees are bent. 1 fist width apart, it's an approximation. Right foot flexes onto left knee, and I'm going to press that right knee away. Check in with the right hip. The first thing I do is I take my right thumb and I massage that hip and thigh to intersect. Then I'm going to lift that left thigh towards me and maybe put it back down. Lift it towards you and put it back down. Wow, that's intense. One more time. Left thigh comes towards you. Right hand pushes right knee away. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you come into cactus, and here's a new fun version. Let's take our feet all the way over to the left. Attempt to touch the floor. My shoulders stay down. Back to center. And I take it over to the right and get my knee or thigh to the floor without lifting my left shoulder. And back to center. So side, up, right, up, left, up, and last time side, up. Let's add the bind. I'm going to take my hands behind my left thigh and pull it towards me. You could also use your strap, or you could just take your hand behind your knee. Your choice what this feels like. Let's close our eyes for 3 minutes and notice what you notice in that right glute muscle. Continue to press that right knee away like you're opening a gate. And then let's cross right leg over left, arms into cactus. Twist legs over to the left, keeping your shoulder down, and maybe look to the right. Back to center, and let's take these knees over to the right. Look to the left, keep that left shoulder down. Back to center, and shake it out. Other side, feet to the mat, bend at the knees. Let's cross left foot, ankle at the right knee, and flex, press that left knee away isometrically using your head. Option to bring right thigh up and then place the foot back down. I want to find my range of motion on my left side. And I know my left-handed friends, this is our tighter side. Right thigh towards you, feel that resistance and place it back down. And you can be massaging the left hip as well. Last time, right thigh towards you. This time keep it there. Let's twist over to the right. Can you take that right foot to the floor? Sorry, left foot to the right side. Come back to center. Feet are flexed. Legs to the left and back to center. I'm going to go back and forth a few times. And then I'm so tight in the side, I'm not going to go any further. Choice here to bind behind the thigh or with a strap or with your hands, or straighten the leg and come behind the knee. 2 more breaths here. Notice this experience might be different on the other side. And I'm going to cross left leg over right, hands on opposite knees, and pull those thighs in for a moment. Arms into cactus. And let's twist these crazy knees over to the right, and you're going to look to the left. Back to center. And one last time, take them to the left, you're going to look to the right. Back to center, shake it out. We're going to roll onto our side, curled up in a ball. And take 2 breaths here, relaxing. And then pushing yourself upright, coming into tabletop. There's some messy hair. Option to take a pause here in Thunderbolt. We're in our knees. For some of us, we need this little stretch, especially if you have tight quads. I'm going to come into tabletop, palms under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And let's do sassy cow for a moment. I'm literally doing my hips side to side. It does remind me of an elephant when they're waddling side to side as a group. You might do circles or pretend you have a hula hoop. And finally, looking up, first cow, exhale cat. Inhale cow, look up. Exhale cat. Inhale cow. Exhale cat. You're going to move through 3 more times at your own pace, enjoying this stretch of the spine. Inhale cow. Exhale cat. Cow. Cat. Coming to neutral. Guess what time it is? Plank time. Step back left then right. High plank, shifting my weight over the wrists, pushing the floor away. Find that deep engagement of the belly, and it's not just where our belly button is. The abs, which I encourage you to Google what they look like, run down almost like a corset all down the front of your body. Maybe look at your hands. Are you happy with your manicure today? I know my nails have enjoyed this natural COVID break. My friend's 6-year-old daughter did a very sweet manicure yesterday with glitter for me. And I feel that heat, warm heat building in the center of my body as I press the floor away, Holding my weight up. We're almost done a minute. Oh, there's a minute. I'm going to take a micro break. Continue with my 2-minute plank. Use your breath. Remember, it's your secret superpower. It's going to get through all the poses. I can feel I haven't had my coffee. Now, some of you I know are open to driveway visits with each other. I do encourage you to connect with each other if there's someone you've been wondering about. I get asked that through me. And maybe you have the information to contact your classmates, or maybe you want to ask me. I don't mind sharing that with you, because I know you are all missing each other. And it's actually very sweet how you've been asking about each other. Oh, look at that. We're almost done 2 minutes. Woohoo! 5 more seconds. Nice job. Knees down. Extended child's pose. And back to tabletop. Okay. Tuck, and let's walk into our first forward fold. This is the forward fold we're going to add in elephant. So elephant, this is when we do in kids yoga. I'm going to interlace my hands, knees are bent. I'm going to sway forward and back. Option to go side to side, but let's do this way. I think I actually prefer it loose arms, your choice. And then I'm just going to switch this way. So you can see this way, we're going to do our sun salutation. So folding, arms to the side wide, reach up, lengthen, exhale, fold, half back, fold, plant, come onto your knees and lower down. 2 breaths, sleeping cobra. 1, 2, tuck your toes, press back dog, pedaling your dog. Right foot forward, left knee back, low lunge. Woo! Find your balance. Option tuck and rise. Hands release. Feet together. Fold. Rise. Heart center. Inhaling up. Exhale, fold. Half back. Fold. Plant. Maybe I'll hop. 2 breaths, sleeping cobra. And then picking up your head, baby cobra. Step back, downward dog. Pedaling. Left foot forward. Right knee down. Low lunge. You always have that choice, staying in the low lunge or tuck and rise. Hands release. Feet together. Fold. Rise. Heart center. Once more on each side. Let's keep it flowing. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Half back, fold, plant, knees down, sleeping cobra, 2 breaths. Pick up your head, baby cobra, press back, downward dog. Pedaling if you like. Maybe that still feels good. Right foot forward, left foot back, high lunge. Hands release. Feet together, fold, rise, heart center. 1 more side, inhaling up, exhale, fold. Half back, fold, plant, knees, heart to the floor, sleeping cobra. Baby cobra, press back dog. Paddling, left foot forward, right foot back, high lunge. Hands release, feet together, fold, rise, heart center. There's your rest. Nice work. So because we wanted to focus on hips, a nice quickie is our squat. My first variation might be wider feet, supporting on my femurs, or some of you might come down into full squat. Watch those knees. I know some people have knee and ankle challenges. And then I'm gonna come down into my bomb and a nice one. Immediately bring my soles together into diamond. Let's walk our bum towards our heels here, and that's gonna switch it into recline or into cobbler. Also called bound angle, because this angle is bound together. I'm holding my ankles and sitting up straight in my chest, if that's available to you. And guess what? It becomes a back bend when I start to look towards the ceiling. Let's do a little bit of cat-cow here. Gently bring chin to chest. There's my cat. Press the heart, the place behind the heart, to the wall behind you. And then coming forward, cow. Cat, cow. So forward and back. How's your spine there? Now I'm going to slide these feet a little back into the diamond and gently forward fold. And I'm adding a little bit of pressure with my forearms onto my knees. If I'm really tight, I'm up here, and I might press this way. I might gently press here, or I might not press at all. I might just rest my arms on my legs and let gravity do the work. We're not going to come to full tortoise. I kind of want you just to feel what's happening in your hips today. And then let's come back up. Knees are bent. We're going to flip our legs to the left. Quickie mermaid. Massaging any tension in that left hip flexor all the way down the thigh. I have a flexed left ankle, but not all of us has that possible, so it might be soft. I'm going to turn and look to my right, tiny spinal twist, and then turn and look to my left. Back to center, knees upright. Let's flip to our mermaid on the other side. Legs flip. Maybe I'm going to sit upright. Oh, imagining this right sits bone coming down to the earth. And turn and look over that right foot. Tiny spinal twist, and I'm going to attempt to do the other side. And back to center. Diamond is my meeting point again, and maybe add that tiny forward fold. Let's do our rock the baby. So left leg's extended, right knee bends. I'm going to take the blade by my hand and gently pedal that leg, or stir it one direction then the other. And here's the piece we love, rock the baby. And release, roll out the ankles. Last side. Foot bends, grab hold of the outer left blade with your left hand from inside your leg. We're going to do our Ferris wheel or suit. Switching that left flex foot to the right hand, rock the baby. And release. So, we know we often have a lot of poses for hips specifically. Let's do one more thing on the floor before we do our final pigeon. I do have blocks here, but I can do this without blocks. We've often done this without blocks. I'm going to take the blocks, shoulder width apart, under my shoulders, coming into tabletop. Left foot's going to step beside left block. Just as we talked about earlier with anger, it's not just placed there for no reason. I want my mind and my body to be together, pressing that inner left arch into the outer left block. Then pressing the inner left knee into my outer left bicep. Create this isometric pressure, and the action is not really to do with my knee or my arm. It's happening deep inside that left hip. And let's stay here for 2 breaths. Push the floor away. My right knee is still bent. So I have an option to stay here or inchworm right leg back out further and untuck. Guess what? That's the same action as a pigeon. That extended right leg. And I can feel a deep stretch from the right hip wanting to go towards the earth. Pick up your head. Option to stay here or tuck that right back foot and rise. Option to stare between your hands just above the floor or just a little further, but you want to keep your neck in line with your spine. And then knees down. Keep your hands on the block. Here we go. Beautiful stretch. Extended child's pose with elevated elbows. Forehead towards the floor, bum towards the heels. Nice long stretch from tailbone to crown. And then back upright. Other side. Right foot comes beside right block. So that inner right arch presses into the outer right block. Inner right knee presses into outer right bicep. Choosing to stay here with my squared off hips. Or I like to tuck the left toe and lengthen that left leg untucked. This side is dramatically tighter. Choosing to stay here, staring just above my block formation. Or tuck the left toe and lift, squeezing to center. If this hurts anything, you're coming back to knees down. Push the floor away, opening that place behind the heart. Undo. Keep those palms there. We love this extended child's pose. And then back upright. Now, while we have the blocks here, I'd like to use them for our assisted pigeon poses. You know that we often use them under the pelvis so that we're not dumping in our joints. We'll first do our swan. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, tabletop. Right knee slides forward towards right wrist crease, left leg extends back. And I'm gonna stay upright here or come into Sphinx, but I'm not dumping in that right hip. It's really important I stay upright. 2 breaths here, pressing those palms and forearms down, broadening that collarbone. Don't drop the head. And then I'm gonna upright myself and come back to tabletop. Other side, left knee forward towards left wrist crease or left thumb, right leg slides back. So I'm gonna stay here or here. More breath, and then back to tabletop. Final fun pose. People all over the world in every class are always asking for pigeon. And what's funny is classmates want pigeon, but teachers are always hesitant. They don't want you to hurt your joints. Tabletop, right knee to right wrist crease. Pivot the right front of your leg. Diagonal. I'm on the top shoelace front of my right foot. Left leg extends back. And to stop me from dumping in either direction, I'm going to take that block under my right bum cheek. And today I can see in the mirror my hips look pretty squared off. It's something you might want to consider doing in this pose. And come onto the forearms or stack your fists or take your other block as a pillow to where the forehead is. So for years I would do this pose, challenging myself. Can I stick it out for 15 minutes? Can I get my pelvis all the way to the floor? There's lots of challenges on it, but is it going to benefit my body or the mental practice? It's really this is for the stillness of the fluctuations of the mind. Then come back upright, come back to tabletop, and do the other side. Ready? Hands under shoulders. Left knee comes towards left thumb or left wrist crease. Pivot that foot. Right leg, I'm gonna move up. Right leg extends. Block under the left hip or bum cheek. Choosing to stay upright, so that's a much bigger back bend. Forearms, Sphinx, or block under the forehead. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And then help yourself press up off the block, get rid of the other block, come onto your bum and swing that leg around. I'm going to do one last reading to finish off the class. And you have a choice. You can stay in seated because you're sitting there and continue with breathing even after we've signed off. Or you can lie down for another Savasana, our closing one. I'm going to take this one because the artwork reminds me of Yana's garden. We both used to live on Worthington, didn't know each other then. And the picture of the trees behind us, that protected forest, was so beautiful. Every single day the color changed, nature putting on this show. And then when I picked this card just now, the title actually reminds me of Yana, our resident prof. Actually, we have a couple people who work in the university industry. The blessing of questioning. Examine and identify any belief that stems from an irrational fear. Ask yourself, do I still need this? And this is crazy, but when I turned 40, I made a fear bucket list. And I would put the things that I was most avoiding or afraid of or felt I never needed in my life. They were stupid things. Eye laser surgery, tattoo, things that I think a lot of them stem from fear of pain. And so guess what? Slowly checking them off. And I think searching out my fear and kind of killing it is actually really empowering. So maybe that's your homework today. Can you make a list of 5 things that you've been afraid to do, whether it's confronting somebody in your family that you've not spoken to in 10 years, or speaking up for something that's important to you in a friendship, or maybe trying a new food. Go to Centra or TNT, there's so many interesting fruits out there. So, do I still need this? If the answer is no, then replace it with a trusting or loving belief. Blessings flow to you as soon as you do this. Set yourself free. So that sense of freedom coming from something that is sort of like forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. The person you're forgiving doesn't even know that you're imprisoned by this thing. You set yourself free by forgiving them. Thank you so much for your effort. The good in me sees the good in you. Namaste.